Don't move a muscle. I might be short, but I pack Captain. You're just in time. While I was lying in wait, I spotted this crook snooping around, trying to...
Oh.
Are you... Potton?
What?
This is how Potton looked before his face was marred. His
Wait, so what's going on? Wasn't the whole point of the potion to disguise himself and escape Fontaine?
Enough of this nonsense. Let me...
You better pipe down. There's an...
To heck with it. Listen...
He's gotta be lying, right? Or what?
Forced against his will. Back when I was being coerced, everyone thought I was colluding of my own free will. And then when I actually became a criminal in my own... Amazing what a difference a handsome fate...
Save us this...
You want an explanation? Fine. I'll tell it how it is. When I was just Potton, the whole world treated me with contempt.
Ew. What do you...
Women despise me.
Collaborate? You don't look like much of a researcher to me.
My peers...
Mr. Potton, was it? I'm most interested in your research. Consider my offer carefully. I doubt you'll find other investment.
Only villains would work with me.
You want out of the game? Forget about it. Turns out, I slipped up a little. Left your picture with some Marechaussee Phantom officers. So I suggest you put any thoughts of running away to rest. If you get caught by the guard...
There was no way out for me until...
Mr. Rawat, I
became popular with women. This new potion you developed is fascinating. Genius, in fact. Would you consider working with me?
My peers looked up. I'm very interested in your research, sir. You must know.
And the villains even began to fear me. Becoming Rawat showed me what a but I did not hold a grudge. Or so I thought. But Mother, I'm back. How are you doing?
Who are you?
I bought the best medicine Mora could buy, but nothing would cure her illness. In the end, I hoped she'd at least be able to see her son one last time before she passed, but... When everyone else rejected me, the only person who cared about me was my mother. Then, when I became a rising star in the
I have to let her see me again. Even if it means donning my own wretch. Well, is that enough explaining for you?
Have you ever considered if you found a way to completely change your identity?
Why would I want to give up on such a lucrative business?
So you kept being a villain?
Villain? By what standard? You have no right to judge me!
You're a villain to the core! But it's...
Honestly, I don't see a villain when I look at your current face either.
Don't humor me. You don't...
I didn't know anything for sure until you chose to take that potion bottle and spare. I had to confirm my suspicion.
Are you kidding me? A young, promising researcher and a...
Well, there were no visual clues. This potion's face-changing, but I believe I understand humanity a little better than most of my kind.
Fundamental qualities, huh? Most people probably don't know this, but I think I can guess what your deal is. Melazine, you used it yourself, didn't you? That's...
Seedream?
Yes, you're right.
I'll bet it was back in the day. It was either carry on living in the gutters as part of an alien race cast out by humanity, or be... So you see...
That's not important right now. You came here to see your mother.
Huh?
Head nurse,
Don't worry. Back
back in the warehouse, he was willing to risk sacrificing his only chance of escaping capture by opening...
I see.
So before you arrest him, please allow him to see his mother one last time.
All right.
I don't trust this guy.
Join the head nurse inside.
Mom? It's me, Potton. Your son. Mom!
I'm sorry, but I have some bad news.
What?
Your appearance no longer has any bearing on her.
No, it can't be. Please. I've done so much to get to this point. No.
The temperature of his palm must have changed. I'm sorry. It seems I couldn't bring him back to you after all. It's you? Oh, of course.
Mom! Why were you...
No more questions, Potton.
Mom!
I'm sorry to say this, Potton.
The wait is over, everyone! The sale of our new skincare product.
Another skincare promotion! And it's selling as fast as last time. Oh, Seedween's here too! Hey, Seedween! Oh, Traveler Paimon, hello! Of course! Nurse's orders, right? Actually, I'm mostly here to help off... Ah, that reminds Paimon. Nope, there's nothing to worry about. Unless modified, Butterfly Dew is an excellent skincare... Besides, officers have already retrieved all but after consulting Monsieur Nervulette, I came up with a way to Wow, it's Siege.
Thank you for serving as our consultant, head nurse.
Great! Good job!
Also, you mentioned you wanted a copy of Rawat's interrogation after he saw his mother for the last time. It was like all his mental defense. Apparently, the formula was something he discovered by chance while helping the criminal gang produce. Their supplier was Vache. But you could also argue that they were the ones doing him of it made for a seamless collaboration.
Vache again, huh?
Make no mistake. Since the flood cut off their supply of primordial seawater, they've been forced to after receiving numerous reports.
That sounds more like it.
Based on what he told us in his confession, he tried to throw us off his tail by reporting his accomplices. But there was one thing he hadn't anticipated. Even though Potton had been missing for a long time.
So he tried this once before, huh? Is he looking at the interrogation records? It seems like he spent the first sum of money.
Yes, which is why I suspect that his initial motive for using... Even so.
I understand. Why did you want them anyway? Potton was one of my patients, so I need to put together a medical... Why are you still treating him like your... Well, that may be true, but...
One last thing, head nurse. It would be for the best if most of Fontaine knows nothing of its existence.
Of course.
Thank you for
So, Seedween, did you really use that potion yourself? Why do you sound so surprised, Pot? You mean that's... Yes, but... I know. There are some secrets I can't tell anyone about. Before I tell you, though, could you follow me? Of course. Nervalette and Risley, they're I'm here too.
Good to see you, traveler. Paimon. I trust all has been going.
Big news, everyone. The Udex is out of...
Is that genuinely some...
Why wouldn't they?
Yes, you're quite right. When someone you care... After reading the Maréchal Phantom's...
Take note. That, my friends, is how Monsieur Neuvillette shows that he cares. We're both here...
So the old friend she mentioned was her... Oh, sorry.
I doubt she considers that title to be offensive,
Indeed. In fact, I believe Sigewinne would take it as a sign of affection. In those days, many people harbored prejudices.
Wow. It's really...
Younger colleague. Well, that might be true for the Udex, but I'm not sure I can say the same. Sigewinne served a sentence in the fortress of Meripede hundreds of years ago. And after she did her time, she decided to... Strictly speaking, the head nurse has been around...
She served a sentence?
Yes. Long before I became Udex, there was an ancient law in Fontaine that prohibited... Initially, I and most researchers believed this law to have been imposed, but now, it seems more likely that the law was nothing more than an insurance policy.
Ignorance is bliss.
Sigewinne had her reasons for choosing to obtain it.
Could you tell us a little bit more?
Certainly. Sigewinne does not object to her close friends learning about her history.
Even with their daughter so ill, they kicked you out? Stubborn as always. Shame that I don't have the energy to get over there. You're laughable.
Master...
I discovered a strange disease. One I suspect I had no choice but to experiment on myself to find a cure.
Then I'll find a cure.
There's no need.
But, Master...
As I said before, a doctor's duty is...
I know. I'll do what...
Even if it means
As long as I don't hurt it...
Then I shall make one more. If I am able to work this miracle, then I will have found... If not, then it means there is one more disease in this world. I will leave you a parting gift. An accidental discovery happened upon...
When Sigewinne returned, she found a potion bottle and a note on the table. After using the potion as instructed, and after I had confirmed the veracity of the events,
So that's what happened.
I fear Sigewinne only understood the full story after that. When I reflected on all this with that knowledge in hand, I felt a deep sense of... After the final details of the events surrounding Sigewinne's transformation came to light, I checked...
Wonder how she feels about...
Since she invited you here, I imagine she intends... On behalf of the Maréchal Phantom, I would like to once again...
Our head nurse and the traveler in pipe...
Sigewinne seems to be in good...
Well, she might be the only permanent medical staff in the fortress, but
I am most relieved...
The way you're asking it.
Well, I will...
Showing your age a bit there.
Indeed. Actually...
Well, while we're on the topic, what did you do before getting this job?
Yes, and, from the surface to the ocean floor.
Wow.
Apologies, that was... merely...
That's impossible.
You're here. The old friend I mentioned was my teacher. Sigewinne, the witch who gave you the magic potion. So, after learning the truth, well, to be honest, but she was planning... That's just who she was. If lying is what it took to get a kid to take... All right, but I broke the law. Simple as that. My teacher made her choice. True. It's just... the way Potton... You're not like him at all, and yet... You were still convicted and... Unfair? I happen to think just the opposite. What makes you... I knew you'd be curious. The verdict came down. This Melusine is guilty. The Udex defended the authority of Fontaine law, but he did not confiscate the Melusine's medical kit. And so, the Fortress of Meripede gained a new little doctor. She still wore her hood and raincoat, even though it never rained in the fortress. Perhaps thanks to her human appearance, no one refused her treatment. She treated more and more patients, and her sentence grew ever shorter. Finally, the people of the fortress could not live without her, and though her sentence ended, she did not leave them either. Then one day, she received an invitation from the outside world. The location seemed familiar, and when she arrived, an old lady was waiting for her. She saw right through the Melizine's disguise, but didn't reveal it. Instead, she asked a question.
Tell me, why do you think you gained the respect of so many people, despite being a Melazine?
Because I look like a human?
It's been 50 years, Sigewin, and you haven't aged a day. I think everyone knows you are not human. I finally found you, after all these years. I still remember, you know. It was you who saved me that night.
But how? I was no longer a Melazine by then.
Does it really matter if you're human or Melazine? I remember the warmth of your palm. It's quite unmistakable. And you know what? It hasn't changed one bit. You don't have to hide anymore, Sigewin. These days, everyone wants to make friends with Melazines. And I think that it's all because of you. I'm sorry I couldn't say this until now, but thank you, Dr. Melazine.
Now that's an ending Paimon can get. After hearing everything Paten said, I wanted to tell him that I tried to treat him. But the roots of his problem, I understand. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, there's one more reason I invited. In order to restore the appearances of the face-swapping victims, the Marashose Well, even if you chose to destroy it, I still thought I should give it to you. Well, fair still. If this is the very last bottle, Melazine physiology wasn't affected by the Great Flood, right? So that means the potion should have a permanent after all, from a Melazine point of view. Paimon. What was Paimon thinking? Leave it to me. I'd like to stay here with